It's ice time on the PSP Network with Nick Hulberg, yours truly. Glad to be here again for another episode of Ice Time here on the PSP Network, coming to you on the 25th of November, 2020, one day away from Thanksgiving. Hope everybody's hungry. Hope you've got the opportunity to be with some friends and family here on the holiday coming up tomorrow. Again, such a unique time and everything going on in our world today. Hopefully you can escape a little bit and enjoy a nice meal tomorrow. I know I certainly am. I'm excited to make my way to my in-laws' house for Thanksgiving. I'm going over there hungry. I hope to leave completely full. Stuff like the turkey, we probably will. It's ice time here on the PSP Network, and today we've got plenty to talk about, including our period segments today that we'll discuss December 14th being the day of days that everybody is looking forward to, especially youth and high school hockey players, the day they get back to the ice and compete. We'll talk about that in our Period 1 segment. Period number 2 brought to you by our friends at Clean Tech. Tauros are going to join the show. Ken Oda, the operations director for the Toros in the last 9 years. He's got some insight on the future of Toros hockey. It's one of my question marks moving forward. It's a little bit scary knowing how the North American Hockey League operates, the USHL, Manitoba Junior League, the SJHL, and the Saskatchewan Junior League, all the way up to the ECHL, the National Hockey League. What is the future of Toros hockey under their current restraints of ticketing and all that sort of stuff? We'll talk to Ken. He's going to paint the picture and make it a little bit brighter for us. We're also going to talk about Renj Morelli and the passing of one of the greats in North Dakota all time in the hockey world. We'll touch on Reggie Morelli and the legacy that Reg leaves. Fantastic man. Our condolences off to the Morelli family with the passing of one of the greats of all time, just as a human being, Renj Morelli. And then in the overtime segment today, we'll talk Beavers hockey. They went to Williston and ran into a hot goaltender. We'll touch on that. So let's start now with December 14th is our first topic of conversation today, as it was released a few weeks back that all activities were going to be postponed until the 14th of December. That was when the teams were supposed to get back onto the ice for high school hockey in North Dakota. What did that mean? Well, for Minot High, for example, that meant that they were going to lose games against Botno, Devils Lake, Bismarck Century, Mandan, and Dickinson. All those games were scheduled to take place before December 12th. With a lot of hard work and a lot of people around the state of North Dakota voicing their concerns with this, including Scott Lauser from the Minot community and one of the representatives in the district for Minot, did a bunch of hard work on this. Not to give him all the credit in the world, but he did more than we did for sure. And I don't know how much he did, but he certainly deserves credit because I know that he was working hard on helping the cause for high school hockey and the youth sports. And what they got done and what they resolved was that the governor came back and retracted the statement that he had made, which basically allowed for youth sports to resume play on the 30th of November, which is great. That gives us a fast-forward date 2 weeks in advance now from where we were supposed to be for youth and high school sports to at least get back to the ice and play and practice, I should say. So with that being said, Minot High's schedule's out, the WDA schedule's out, and it's an interesting schedule that's going to be busy. It's almost like a pro schedule for the Minot High Magicians boys hockey team. I haven't seen a change yet on the girls, by the way. I haven't forgotten about the Majettes, who are going to have a good year this year, I believe, inside of girls high school hockey in North Dakota. I haven't seen changes yet on the Dakota Association's calendar that I'm looking at now, but we will talk about them in the future show coming up. Minot High was supposed to have a game and open their season last night at the Lumberdome against the Botno Braves, who I think could be really good here in 2020. That game was rescheduled to the 15th of December. That's where the season is now going to start for the Magi. Here's the games they lost. First of all, you could throw any East versus West matchups right out the window. So Minot High lost games with Devils Lake. They also lost games against Fargo Davies, West Fargo Cheyenne, Grafton, and Red River. Just a stinger for the Magi, who this year looking to go into tournament time, game tested against some of those top teams in the state. They don't have the opportunity to play them, but at least we're playing hockey, right? That's the message that I have out of that. However, it would be nice to be able to play Red River every single year, or Fargo Davies, or Devils Lake, or Grafton, or Cheyenne. Those games are good games for Minot High. They just don't get them this year. Minot High was also supposed to have a game against Century, Mandan, and Dickinson. We mentioned that on the 8th, 10th, and 12th of December. Those games have been rescheduled, and here's what the rest of 2020 looks like on the calendar year for the Magi. December 15th, they head to the Lumberdome. They take on the Botno Braves for a matchup at 7:30. We will have coverage on the PSP network. They then return home on December 17th, that's a Thursday, 2 nights later, to take on Leif Mattsson's Mandan Braves. Then on December 19th, that's Saturday, they're going to take on Matt Stockert's Jamestown Blue Jays at the Mesa Arena. Then they're back on home ice on Tuesday, the 22nd of December, to take on West Carr's Bismarck High Demons. All of those games will be on the PSP network. However, I do have to say that I am expecting my second-born child to be coming right around that time, so we're going to have to play that by ear to make sure that I'm not in the delivery room meeting my newborn child right at that same time. However, looking forward to high school hockey coming back, looking probably a little bit more forward to the opportunity to be a dad again, which is going to be great. But nevertheless, Minot High has games on the 15th, 17th, 19th, and 22nd of December to get the season off and rolling. Bing, bang, boom. And we're going to be playing hockey in a quick hurry. Then they go on Christmas break and return on the 5th of January and all the way till Ralph Engelstad Arena hosts the State High School Hockey Tournament on the 25th of February. Great news on that front for North Dakota high school hockey. And our topic and our top story of the day for sure is that we get to return to play, and so many kids at the high school level down to the youth levels back to the ice, which is our first and foremost our number one concern, I think, moving forward. Great. We love it. Fantastic. Let's play hockey. When we come back to Ice Time, we're going to talk to the Minot Toros Operations Director, Mr. Ken Oda. He's been there for 9 years, knows his way around the office, the Central Division, and the North American Hockey League. We're going to talk to him next on his thoughts on what happens with the North American League, with Toros hockey as well. Is the future bright? Scary right now, I'd have to think. We'll get Ken's thoughts on it moving forward. We'll see what his insight is. It's Ice Time with yours truly, Nick Hulberg, here on the PSP Network.
The magic of what we do really comes down to combining different aspects of patient care. Here at Premier Chiropractic, we love combining soft tissue work, the adjustment, and exercises together. We found that this gets the best results for our patients. We have 3 chiropractors to fit the needs of the entire family, a rehab area for our exercises and equipment for any athlete to improve performance. Give us a call and we will get you back to doing what you love.
Life is all about moments. Big moments. Small moments. And those moments you can't put into words. It's how we at First International Bank and Trust live first and have been for more than 110 years. One customer, one family, one moment at a time. First International Bank and Trust. Live first.
Into the top corner, right where Grandma keeps the cookies. His 22nd.
Time for period number 2 of Ice Time. We're now joined by the operations director and the voice of the Minot Toros hockey program in his 9th season here with the Toros. Chicago native, Mr. Ken Oda. Ken, thanks for some time here today. Unique circumstances, but how are things going, man?
It's wild. I tell you, Nick, you called me this morning, asked me if I could do this. And pretty much since then, I've been on the phone with other teams in the division. We're changing the schedule a lot. I think actually it's changed since the last time I talked to you this morning. So things are very fluid, and that's just the reality of the COVID world, I guess.
Well, there's a lot going on here, and there's a lot of questions that I'd like to ask. And I know the hockey community, first and foremost, is happy to see that the Toros are able to play. Secondly, where my mind goes is concerned about the future of hockey in general for leagues like the North American League. So let's start there and take the big question out of this equation right away. Is there concern with where we sit today, the future of the North American League and this organization that has done such a fantastic job for the last 10 years, becoming a staple in the North American League for being one of the primetime organizations?
Nick, I think obviously there's some concern. This year, without a doubt, has been a struggle, not just for us, but for everyone. We depend a lot on sponsorship in the community and going out and talking to businesses. A lot of people are hurting, so I don't want to make it sound like, oh, well, woe is me. The Toros are struggling, but it is. I mean, you look at. Last year, we were getting 1,500 people a night. Even before the restrictions here, we were only getting 750 to 800 a game because there are people who are afraid to come out. There are people who shouldn't come out, who have, very legitimate concerns and probably shouldn't be coming to games. We heard from season ticket holders who said, look, we love you and we're going to buy our season tickets, but we're not going to be there this year. So it certainly has been a struggle. And now you add in the restrictions we're fortunate to play, and I can't thank the Minot Park District and the health department and the governor's office for working with us and getting that up to 600 people for us. But in the end, that's still way below where we need to be to make this work long term.
What does that mean for moving forward for you guys and the challenges that are at hand right now? Obviously, if you get 600 in there a night, I know that season ticket holders are kind of at the top of that list. What are you doing to try to really propel them to come and maybe dish off those tickets if they can't? Is that right?
Yeah, we have 619 season ticket holders. We're allowed 600 people. So right off the bat, my family, my girlfriend, the kids, they can't come. Our sales guy, his wife and kids can't come. So right off the bat, staff families were told, hey, we've got to get under that 600 limit. You guys can't come. Then we sent out a letter to our season ticket holders, asked them to come or to pass their tickets on. And now, after last weekend, we had under 300 people both games. So we've put a small block of tickets out for sale for this Friday night with Bismarck coming to town. So we put a small block of tickets out. We know we're not going to get 100% attendance among our season ticket holders. That sounds weird, but it's actually pretty spot on. Talking around the league, you give sponsors season tickets. You have youth hockey families are season ticket holders. A lot of the year they travel. So teams typically average only about 50% attendance among their season ticket holders. So like I said, we put a small block of about 100, 115 tickets out there for sale for fans. And we've asked our season ticket holders, if you're not coming, if you're unable to pass your season tickets on to someone else, let us know and we will add those tickets to that block so that hopefully we can. We're allowed 600. I'd love to see at least 600 people, packed in here, whether they're season ticket holders or not.
Absolutely. As far as the division itself is concerned, it seems like Bismarck, with their 20 years that they've been around, Aberdeen's doing great things. They're undefeated on the year. We're not even talking standings right now, but then you look at Minot and those three right there with some others that have been around for a little while, but you look at what has happened in Minnesota and the shutdowns in Minnesota. How much does that change what happens with those teams over there and the teams that are able, like South Dakota, who's got free reign to do whatever they'd like to do?
Certainly. Well, and that's actually what I've been working on all morning here and actually the last few days. The teams in Minnesota aren't even allowed to practice. Their rinks are closed. At least here, we can play. We've got the attendance restriction and the rink is open. We can practice. So the St. Cloud Norsemen and Austin Bruins are going to be moving to North Dakota here. So we're going to be hosting Austin for a little bit, and then and St. Cloud will be in Bismarck, and then we'll flip-flop. So what was supposed to be road games December 4th and 5th in Minnesota against Kenai River, an Alaska team who had been playing in Minnesota because Alaska wasn't an option. Those games are now off the schedule for now. The Austin Bruins will be here next weekend, and then instead of playing Aberdeen, we'll be playing St. Cloud on December 11th and 12th. So a lot of fluidity in the schedule, a lot of, can't thank our sponsors enough for working with us, Sleep In, especially for hosting these teams, Bob Gillen in the rink for making practice ice available for these guys and locker rooms available. So it'll be, it's not quite the NHL playoff bubble, but it'll be a little bit of a North Dakota bubble with 4 teams in the division living here in North Dakota and then Aberdeen in the mix as well. And we'll just be taking turns playing each other while we can here until Christmas.
You know where I stand on it. I think that we should be playing hockey. And again, condolences. I need to mention it every time. There's nobody in their right mind that wants to see anybody sick or ill or deaths come from this. But there are people out there that say, what are they doing playing and how can this go on? You want to touch on that for a moment, Ken, about some of the things that this program has done and implemented as far as player safety and personnel safety with temperatures being taken before they get on a bus and things like that, just to lay it out there for people that you guys are taking this seriously.
Oh, we certainly are. And, I had COVID, Nick, back in September before the season started. And it put me, I had pneumonia, I had 106 temperature, and then put me in the hospital for a night. So I certainly know, how bad it can be. But our players, before they even come to the rink, have to fill out, it's like a 15-question questionnaire on our website that is only accessible to the players. They have to fill it out for their symptoms, and it goes straight to Kevin Melby. If a guy has a symptom, he gets red flagged, and Kevin can call him and follow up before he even gets here. Then when they walk in, they go straight to the training room. Kevin takes their temperature. And it's not a foolproof system. Yes, we've had cases on the team and had to take a couple of weeks off because we just, and that's exactly what we did. No one wants to take 2 or 3 weeks off in the middle of the season. We had a 27-day break between games just to make sure that it didn't get out of hand on the roster. We're certainly taking it seriously, and by no means are we wanting our fans to risk life and limb to come to support us at the games. But for the fans who can, I don't expect us to have 1,500 a night, but I think that 600 number is a pretty fair number. And it's, again, yes, if you have pre-existing conditions or you're on the older side of the spectrum, please don't come to our games. We don't want to put anyone at risk, but this building holds 2,400 people. 600 people can spread out in it pretty easily. So I think, we're not trying to minimize it, and we certainly, don't want to put people's health at risk, but at the same time, we're a business, and we need to keep going to survive. We can't just take a year or 2 years off and have no revenue and keep going. And I think we have to keep trying to play while we can and go from there.
And hopefully that the virus cure comes out sooner than later for the sake of all hockey across the board. It's something that I know that we could talk for hours about on that trickle down effect, Ken, where, you talk about the NHL all the way down to youth hockey this year, where, how many kids aren't going to sign up for learn to skate and learn to play, and what that does for the numbers down the road. You start talking about losing teams in the North American League or the USHL. You want to touch on that for just a moment on what that would mean moving forward?
Well, certainly. I mean, you look at, I think, somewhere between 2 or 4 USHL teams. I don't have it right in front of me, but a handful of USHL teams decided not to play. 3 North American Hockey League teams decided not to play. So you look at it just at the junior level, even if it's only 2 USHL teams, that's 40 kids coming down from the USHL now to the NA. And that's going to push 40 NA kids, plus 3 more NA teams not playing. That's 60 more kids. So there's 100 hockey players who should be playing at the USHL or NAHL, the free-to-play, junior level, who will then get pushed down, either going back to their high school teams. And then, if they go back to their high school team, that's going to push a kid off varsity down onto JV. Or if they're too old for high school, they go to the tier 3 level. Now they push a kid from the bottom level of junior. It ends his hockey career, right? So certainly it's a struggle, and it's, in one regard, it makes the level of play, shrinking the number of teams certainly elevates the level of play, but long-term, the damage it could do to the development of the game around the world, every country is dealing with it, right? So, talk about those high school kids in Minnesota or other states who might lose an entire year. You're a high school senior trying to get spotted by a junior team and go play in the USHL or the NA, and now you don't have your senior year of high school, and you're going to go to a tryout camp next summer, and you haven't played a meaningful hockey game in a year and a half. That's going to be a struggle for those kids too, right? So it'll be interesting to see how this changes the landscape of hockey moving forward.
Hats off to your organization, the Central Division and the North American League, continuing to fight the good fight here. Final thing on how I'd like to end this here with your time today, Ken. What is your positive message to the hockey community in regards to everything going on here? Everybody really kind of crying to get back to normalcy here.
You know, when the puck drops, the game stays the same, right? You know, the COVID may change how we enjoy the games. It may force us to watch on a screen as opposed to from the stands a little more than we'd like, or, you know, it makes us spread out in the stadium and limit the number of people we can have in the building. But once you're inside the glass and the puck drops, whatever your relationship to the game is, whether you're a fan, a broadcaster like you or me, or one of the guys on the ice, the game itself hasn't changed. And if you find comfort in the game like I do, you know, we played last, you know, Friday and Saturday night, and as crazy as everything's been, and trying to navigate the attendance limits and all the craziness, when the puck drops, it's still the game that we love, and it's still that safe place for us to just enjoy 2.5, 3 hours on Friday or Saturday night. So
Ken, I sure appreciate your time. Fantastic stuff. And best of luck to you guys with the games coming up. Aberdeen currently unbeaten, 20 points for them at the top of the list. Toros, 8 games played only on the year so far, but 10 points. Currently in second, then Austin in third with 7 points. Bismarck in fourth, Minnesota Wilderness fifth. St. Cloud hasn't won a game. Let's ended on this. How good are the Toros this year? Are you guys having a legit shot? Obviously, number 2 team in the division right now.
Certainly. I think we've shown we can play with anybody. You know, Friday night was a little rough, but that was our first game in 27 days, and Aberdeen hadn't taken a break like that. So I hate to say, but you kind of expected. Aberdeen's a good team, and you kind of expected a bad showing, or at least I did on Friday night, just with guys. I don't care how hard you practice. It's not the same as playing a game, right? So I think we showed a good bounce back on Saturday night. We still lost. The empty netter made it look a little worse than it was. But, you know, it was a good, close game. And, you know, more than anything, we have a really good goalie in Keenan Rancier. And, Nick, you're a goalie guy. I love goalies, too. Like, I was a very bad goalie in my limited hockey career. Good goalies can steal games for you. And more than anything else, I think we've got the best goalie in the division. So I wouldn't bet against us at all.
The hockey legends around town have been talking about this kid, that he might be as good, if not better, than Ante Tolvanen. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, I mean, he's rolling with a .940 save percentage right now, which is unreal. He faced 100 shots that first weekend of the year and only let in 3 goals. The kid is just unreal, and he's big, he's positionally sound, and he's athletic. And, you know, he works harder than any goalie or any player I've seen come here. He faced 52 shots on Saturday night. After the game, he's up doing laps. He did 20 laps around the top of the stadium after the game. The kid is just an unreal worker. So I'm excited to see what he does, and hopefully we'll see him committing here in the near future, and then carrying us all the way through to a Robbie.
Absolutely. Thanks again for your time, Ken. Best of luck, and happy Thanksgiving to you and your family and the whole Toros organization.
Thanks, Nick. Same to you.
All right, Ken. That's Ken Oda, the Director of Operations for the Minot Toros of the North American Hockey League. When we come back to Ice Time, we're going to talk about the passing of Renj Morelli and the legacy that he leaves across the North Dakota hockey community. It's Ice Time here with Nick Hulberg on the PSP Network.
If you told me 10 years ago I'd be a dad, homeowner, and business partner, I wouldn't have believed it. There's lots of reasons I chose First Western.
Hey Lloyd, how are you today?
Locally owned, community invested, convenient, but most of all, whatever I need, wherever I am, I can count on them.
First Western Bank and Trust. You can bank on us.
The 30-inch Galactic Pizza is out of this world. There's nothing like it anywhere else in Minot. Too much to handle? Try one of our famous large specialty pizzas like the Blue Buffalo. Get the best pizza in Minot and play some laser tag. At Planet Pizza, South Broadway, Minot.
Into the top corner, right where Grandma keeps the cookies. His 22nd.
Great to hear from Ken Oda from Minot Toros Hockey of the North American Hockey League. This Scary situations across the board with those leagues and attendance running those leagues. They are a business, as Ken mentioned, and hopefully things can take a turn for the positive and they can continue to grow the way they have over the last 10 years. Thanks again to the Toros organization for being a part of Ice Time here today. Now we're going to turn our direction and talk about Reggie Morelli, one of the all-time greats at North Dakota, the University of North Dakota, for the Fighting Sioux and Fighting Hawks program history. Reggie Morelli is a guy that goes down in history as not only one of the best hockey players North Dakota's ever seen, but goes down in history as one of the greatest guys you're ever going to meet. And his legacy continues on through his family here in the Magic City of Minot, North Dakota. Reggie Morelli will certainly be missed. He passed away just a couple weeks ago. And Reg, you are missed. Our sincere condolences from the hockey community and all across the board. Thoughts and prayers forever will be with the Morelli family. When we talk about Renj Morelli, I think the thing that really comes to mind when talking about Reggie and what he was able to do as a hockey player, if you don't know the storied history there of the Hamilton, Ontario product that as a junior in college led North Dakota to their first NCAA Division I national championship. How did he do it? Well, 4:18 left of overtime against Michigan State at the RPI Fieldhouse in Troy, New York. Reg scored the game winner to give North Dakota the national championship, their first of many. After that, Reggie went on to his senior year of college for the University of North Dakota, where he was the first, one of the first players to ever be named to the first-team All-American list coming out of North Dakota. He had 132 points in 85 games played through 3 seasons at UND. He was a stud, without a doubt. He led the team in goals and points as a senior. He had 65 points that year, which was a school record for the next 19 years. Now think about how many guys have come through the program at North Dakota and how many great players there are. Reggie was certainly one of them. In 1977, UND thought the same thing. They inducted him into the UND Athletic Hall of Fame. After his college career, Reg went on to play professional hockey in the old IHL. That was back in 1960 and 61. He didn't turn it off there either. He kept the foot on the gas pedal. In 72 games, Reg scored 31 goals and added 37 assists for 68 points, almost a point per game. We ended up with him in Minot, North Dakota. Of course, Morelli's distributing at the Coors Light home here in the Magic City and partially in Western North Dakota. Everybody celebrating with a Coors Light to really salute one of the greatest guys that we've all ever known, and it's Renj Morelli. Of course, he had a huge involvement with Ralph Engelstad. They were friends, and what he was able to do with the help of Ralph Engelstad Arena, his involvement in the Minot hockey community. He was a guy that was known around the hockey world, not just in North Dakota. 2001, the WCHA, on their 50th anniversary, added Renj Morelli to the top 50 all-time greatest players in the WCHA. Again, known for his hockey and known for what he was able to do on the ice. He'll be remembered by many much more, however, for what he was off the ice. And again, our sincere condolences and our thoughts and prayers with Renj Morelli after passing away at the age of 84 in the Magic City a few weeks ago. Morelli family, our thoughts and prayers are with you from the whole hockey community. That is for sure. Reg was one of the best and one of the greatest of all time, no matter what way you're talking about him, hockey or just as an individual. When we come back to the Ice Time program, we're going to talk about MSU Beavers hockey. They were in Williston last week to take on the Tetons, and they ran into a hot goaltender, to say the least. Jansen from the Tetons had 59 shots against. Minot State got out of there with a 1-goal win. We'll tell you how they did it and show you the highlights when we return. This is Ice Time here on the PSP Network.
The magic of what we do really comes down to combining different aspects of patient care. Here at Premier Chiropractic, we love combining soft tissue work, the adjustment, and exercises together. We found that this gets the best results for our patients. We have 3 chiropractors to fit the needs of the entire family, a rehab area for our exercises and equipment for any athlete to improve performance. Give us a call and we will get you back to doing what you love.
Ice Time with yours truly, Nick Hulberg on the PSP Network. Glad to be here for another episode as we get geared up and ready for more hockey coming up in the near future. It's time for the overtime segment of Ice Time, which is brought to you by our friends at 28 Tasted Taps. If you're hungry, you'll leave satisfied. We guarantee it. They've got a unique menu that will have your mouth watering. Open 7 days a week and located on South 16th Street. 28 Tasted Taps, a family restaurant that's open to the public. They've got a bar inside as well. Place is fantastic. You will be satisfied with 28 Tasted Taps. They are truly tremendous. You know what else is tremendous? The goaltending from Williston State University. As we talk Beavers hockey now and take a look at the last matchup for Minot State University and the matchups that they had against the Williston State Tetons. Minot State came into that matchup with a 5-1 record on the year. And coming into the matchup against Williston State at 5-6 on the season, the Beavers had pounded the Tetons, and I mean pounded them. 18-2 was the combined score in the two games earlier on that they had played that year. And on this night last Saturday, the difference maker without a doubt was the goaltender by the name of Tyler Jansen, who came back into the lineup, came in with a .462 goals against average and an 88% save percentage. Numbers that aren't desired by any goaltender, by the way. Well, the bottom line and the storyline, the behind-the-scenes storyline, if you will, is that he was injured early in the year. That's why those numbers were so poor. Grafton, Wisconsin product comes back into the lineup, and he stuns the Beavers on Saturday night out in Williston. You'll see the highlights coming up to end the show here today. But he ended up facing 59 shots on goal, and Tyler Jansen stopped 57 of them. Anytime in play-by-play that you hear me say, call the cops, he just got robbed, you know that I'm only bringing that out for certain saves that are pretty fantastic. He had a couple of those that night that were pretty darn good. Minot State had goals in the hockey game. First one at 7:22 of the first. It came from Dylan Cassie, his second goal of the year. He was assisted on the play by Nick Doyle. Also assisting was Rhett Locke. Williston State's leading point getter, Jesse Kiker, had 10 points coming into the contest. He got the lone goal for the Tetons. That was with 22 seconds remaining in the first period. In the second, Minot State at the 9-minute mark of the power play got a goal from Nick Doyle, up to 8 points on the year now for Doyle. Adam Wowrick had an assist on the play, and so did Carter Barley, who's up to 10 points on the year. He leads the way for the Beavers on the season, but the real storyline here for sure was the goaltender Tyler Jansen. Again, 57 saves on 59 shots. On the other side of the ice, it was Marty Nook for the Beavers that returned to the nets. He stopped 20 of the 21 that he saw. Always fun putting those game notes together. Certainly a lot of work and a lot of time goes into it. But, man, talking hockey's fun, especially when you get to cover games like Minot State and Williston State where you see a performance like that. We're getting geared up for more of the same with high school hockey coming up right around the corner. We'll have another edition of Ice Time next week. We're going to leave you with the highlights today of Minot State and Williston State. Hope you stick around and watch those. Visit us on Facebook and on Twitter at PSP Network. And don't forget to like and follow us for your chance to win a flat screen TV and a Roku stick courtesy of the PSP Network. Special thank you to Ken Odom for stopping by today here on the PSP Network to talk some Tauros hockey with us. Getting geared up for high school hockey. Junior hockey continues and college hockey as well. We'll have the next matchups of the PSP Network of the 4th and 5th of December when the Beavers take on Jamestown in a home of home. Nick Hulberg signing off for Ice Time. Have a happy Thanksgiving. Stay positive about our hockey situation. There's more to come. Till next time, God bless. Minot State's going to be in red. They'll travel from the left to the right for the first to the third. Williston State's in their home whites. They're going to travel from the right to the left for the first to the third. Here tonight on this PSP College Hockey presentation. Just about time for our opening face-off tonight. Brought to you by our friends at Beaupre Law Firm. Again with Braden Powlick. He's riding a 2-game goal-scoring streak coming into tonight's matchup here with the Tetons. The D-man trying to get it done on the offensive side as well. How about this play? In on Carter, fired. Oh, what a stop. That this isn't some fluke. Wowrick has been the real deal and a scoring machine for quite some time. Front of the net, here's a drive save. Oh, they scored. Front of the net it came, and it's going to be tucked home. The Beavers get the first goal of the night. His pocket pick. Here come the Tetons. Here's a breakaway in all alone. Kiker fires, save. Marty took rebound. He scored. Jesse Kiker's 11th point of the year, goal number 4. And talk about having to work for one. Kiker certainly did there. He was hounded by some Beavers, but had the edge, and he ties the game at 1-1 with 22 seconds left here in period 1. Now Locke trying to get it back to Barley. Barley onto a backhand drive, save, loose hit in front of the cage. Oh, how about Jansen? Jansen comes up with the save of the game so far, and it's still 1-1. 30's out of the year for Williston State. They almost had another one. 45 of the power play. Down with it, Barley backdoor give and go. Oh, what a save, rebound in front. They scored. Jansen made an excellent stop in front. Doyle came out. He took the rebound and tucked it home, and Nick Doyle's got his 4th of the year, and a power play tally that has the Beavers up 2-1. Here in their 10th year of program history. Banners on the wall to prove it. How about that save from Jansen? The puck was tipped in front of the net, and he swung back with the paddle of the goal stick after that puck kind of fluttered over the top of him, and he smashed it away with the goal stick. That was a top save of the hockey game, and the CCM twig comes up huge. Go off on a high stick and call it, you'll believe, but first it's a 2-on-1 the other way, backdoor. Oh, what a save! Somebody call the cops for real. Jansen absolutely commits robbery again. 5-4, Minot State's can escape here with a win tonight, but it was not easy. 2-1 will be the final, and with 59 total shots on goal compared to the 21 fired away from Williston State, much credit is needed and deserved here for the goaltender tonight for the Tetons.